Yeah, this is a video that started out Tommy Robinson. The young man came by, noticed my Tommy Robinson print, and was curious as to an old fart like myself, a Yank would be hip enough to know about Tommy Robinson. Interesting, good-looking couple, of course, very hip. And he was a journalist for the music industry. I would have liked to explore that more. And she was a pilot, private pilot in L.A. So I'd assume that they're, liberal. But they didn't seem to be, of course, the Antifa liberal. They're the hip liberal. But they were polite, and they listened, and so I took advantage of that. And I went on a little, this is how things are shaken out in Canada and England and all over the world. Little 5-minute introduction to Geo-Politics 101. I don't know if they're any good or not, maybe. One can only hope they will have their, they'll think about it. Maybe go look something up. Maybe it'll make them question. Who knows? Maybe someone will watch this video and go, wow, I'm going to go look that up. But most of you guys already know what the hell I'm talking about anyway. You just kind of tune in for the train wrecks. Yeah. And if anybody should say anything, something, unexpected. Well, hey, it's that time again. If you like this, like it. If you care, share. And if you can, would you contribute? That'd be nice. That I could do. Purchase an apparel, a mug. Just give me money, Patreon, GoFundMe. Doesn't have to be much, but give something. Because, hey, kids, I'm not doing this for the money, but the money doesn't hurt. Tell you, I gotta keep this thing rolling at least. So help me out if you can. That's it. See you on the streets. Oh, yeah, I'm American, and I'm real big on the First Amendment.
Right.
And, of course, Tommy Robinson, you don't have a constitution of the First Amendment right in England.
I'm Canadian, so we don't either.
Oh, yeah, indeed. So, it's a big deal. So, do you follow Tommy closely? Do you know anything about him?
Well, I know the general story about him, yeah. Right. Yeah. It's interesting that he'd been picked up here by someone like you, that you were aware of what was going on in Britain.
Oh, well, I'm an Alex Jones listener. Do you follow Alex Jones?
Right, so is that how you heard about Tommy Robinson?
Well, it's impossible not to hear about Tommy Robinson if you're politically in tune. I mean, if you're paying halfway attention at all, you're going to hear Tommy Robinson, what happened, because that his arrest and throwing in prison was the shot heard around the world.
Right, okay.
I mean,
are these for sale, or are you just...
Oh, yeah, this is all my work. This is what I do.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah, and I come out here and like to engage in people's conversations, because... Yeah, after all, I get to speak to people from around the world, Canada and England, and I can get there. I just spoke to a family from Iran.
Right.
Wow.
So I don't have to listen to the bull crap that we get on the news. I get it from you guys.
Well, I like your outfit.
Thank you. So when was the last time you were in England? Or?
A couple of months ago.
Okay, what part do you live in?
Well, I live in the States now, but I used to live in London, East London.
All right. What do you do?
I'm a journalist.
For?
An entertainment journalist, so really. Music, film, and that sort of stuff.
How much fun is that? I mean, seriously, you get to go around a concerts
and stuff as well, yeah.
Oh, I know.
Great job.
Well, I was a roadie for a while back in the day, so,
Oh, yeah. Who for?
a couple of groups.
Okay.
The biggest group was the Doobie Brothers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah. So thanks for bringing back those memories. It was, I was young, and yes, I was walking around beautiful women myself. And yourself, young lady? Do you?
I'm trained to be a pilot.
Seriously?
Yeah.
And what? A commercial or?
I'm a private pilot right now, but I'm getting my commercial.
And what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with the?
I don't know. I used to live in LA, so I'm moving back. So we'll
smuggle drugs. I don't know. Smuggle people. I don't know. Yeah. Smuggle politicians out of the. Right? Yeah. It's a lucrative business. Right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I could be smuggling. We've got a lot of refugees coming in from the States, actually. So maybe I'll start smuggling them in together.
Well, wait. Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys. Are you still living in Canada? Are you still there?
I live in Toronto right now.
Yeah, and you guys are having a problem with illegal immigrants too, aren't you? As much.
We've got a lot. Actually, we get about 4,000 a month from the States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. So I know. So it's like. Have you ever heard of a plan called Cloward and Piven?
No.
I'll just brief it. They asked how you're going to bring down Western civilization. How could you do it? You have elites. So these two professors, Cloward and Piven, came up with this. Well, you can't go to war with them because they're too powerful. And it's messy, and you don't know what the outcome's going to be. So the best way to do it is you get the leaders of those Western civilizations to start brush fire wars all over the place. Afghanistan and wherever. And you create a lot of refugees, and then you play on the guilt of the Western nations for creating these useless wars.
Right.
And open up your borders to these refugees and allow them to flood in. And you overwhelm the welfare system of the Western civilization states, and you bring them down financially from the inside. When the chaos happens, you use those illegal immigrants or invaders to create the chaos. And then the powers that be come in as the saviors. They bring in the forces and go, we take over, and they form the one world government. They go ahead and say, well, you guys obviously can't take care of yourselves. The borders are wide open. We'll take care of you. Everybody just has to line up and take this little chip.
I'm confused, though. Isn't it the elites that started the wars?
Well, yeah, they're the ones in front of that. As I say, they do this to bring down Western civilization.
Who is this, though, that's doing this?
Well, I would go, you look to the biggest bankers, the obvious, names would be the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the Morgans and the Sheaves, the ones that have been, controlling the money for a long time. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's them, it's those elites. And then they're, hooked in with with what Eisenhower warned us about when he had his farewell speech. He says, beware of the military-industrial complex and the technological elites gaining unwarranted power. And of course,
a lot more of them than we did.
Well, indeed, and you can see what's happening with Facebook now. The power that these guys have, Google, where they can just, they can shift votes and public opinion like that. So, and then Kennedy warned us about it in this speech that got Kennedy killed 10 days before his assassination. And he named in this speech this shadow government. He called them the shadow government. He says they're bigger than all other governments. They have their own army, their own methods. They never get held accountable for their misdeeds. Everything's secret on them, and these are the guys that are truly powerful. It's great. I mean, it's only like maybe a 7 or 8 minute speech, but you gotta listen to it because he just comes out and names and says, "This is who our enemies are. This is who we are facing."
We'll look it up now.
Yeah, and 10 days later, boom, and that's why they try to silence Tommy Robinson because he was out on the street saying, "This is what's happening in my neighborhood." Don't believe the news; they're lying to you. I mean, I'm telling you, this is what's happening here. Look. And of course, the last thing in the world the powers that be is want us communicating, telling the truth with one another, and that's why they threw him in jail.
Well, interesting talking to you.
Yeah.
My pleasure. Carry on. Have fun.